yeah, then there's people that you can't figure out what they're up to and what they're doing, but you know, my part in their lives is very small and very short, and I get in the middle, so I have to puzzle out what it is. So that this next one's about a couple of guys like that. It's called Men Only. Coming up to Damon Avenue Friday night after 1 a.m., driving west on Webster past the expressway underpass on the northern edge of Bucktown. Two squat forms wave, then shuffle up to the taxi. Both men look to be in their late 40s, stout, compact, and bespectacled. The one without the thick black mustache asks for a Clark Street address in the Loop. So we hit the highway ramp and are off. The litany begins even before we merge into the downtown-bound traffic. They don't like you, Bob. In fact, they hate your guts. He has a speech impediment that turns his R's into L's and L's into W's, making him sound a bit like Elmer Fudd. I'm not going to try to do that accent. I'm not doing it. They can't stand you. Admit it. They don't even like you, he continues, while Bob suffers in weary silence. It's because you're a troublemaker, Bob. Why you have to be like that? Several variations on the theme follow, punctuated by emphatic gestures of pudgy hands before Bob can stand it no more, asking in a gruff but quiet voice, why? Why don't they like me and they like you? I didn't do nothing to them. His tormentor, snot running unrestrained from nose into mouth, has a ready answer. They see you bossing me around. They don't like it. Why you always boss me around, Bob? They like me because I buy them drinks. They don't like you at all. They can't stand you, Bob. Admit it. There's a practiced, almost ritualized rhythm to this list of grievances. The plaintive tone is more a child's whine than an adult's vent. They've done this many times before, and both know their roles. We pull up to a Men Only sign on South Clark, starkly backlit in white, advertising a transients hotel. It stands across the street from the Federal Corrections Facility, an ominous, sharp-angled concrete high-rise with vertical slits for windows. A rummy runs screaming incoherently toward the staircase below that sign, as Bob's companion pops out of the cab and goes inside. The Board of Trade is around the corner, and in the daytime, the seedy, forlorn feel of this block is disguised by the bustle of the throngs. At 1:30 a.m., there's no such facade. The liquor store a few doors down providing the only oasis of activity. Bob sits quietly waiting for his partner, who returns panting. He said they're at Midway, so is back onto the freeway en route to the little airport on the southwest side. The listing of Bob's faults resumes, and his only defense is to insert, I take care of you, occasionally amid his partner's assertions. At the curb on the desolate arrivals level at Midway, Bob gets on his phone, reciting landmarks such as the airline names listed above the locked sliding doors, to someone on the other end. Is this a bus terminal, he asks me. Their friends are apparently at the bus stop, so we circle back down to the lower level, Bob narrating the trek with vivid descriptions of all that passes before his eyes out the left rear window. Two scruffy types approach and make as if to get into the taxi. Can you take us to Toyota Park? One asks. I beg off. Bob pays up and asking for a receipt and inspecting it carefully, then wanders away with his friends in search of further transport. Why are they going to a soccer stadium in the suburbs before the break of dawn? Is Bob really such a bad guy? These, as well as many other queries, go unanswered. A cab ride allows but an obstructed glimpse into the lives of those conveyed, and to ask more would be to ask too much.